Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be here with you today. We're going to be talking about your spiritual practice and what that has to do with your self-love today. Day one, what the heck did we talk about on day one? We talked about, releasing the past on day one. Yesterday, we talked about stop judging yourself. That one was a really good one with a lot of great tips. And we're going to actually cover a little bit of the judging yourself today, talking about your spiritual practice. So let me get into it. Okay, so those days when you're just feeling really sad or really lonely, where you're like, man, is it ever going to work out for me? Is anybody going to ever really love me? Just feeling really sad and feeling really blue. And I'm trying to remember, what that feels like in this moment. Kind of felt like that this morning. I woke up feeling kind of cranky and off. And now that I've had my coffee, I'm definitely not feeling like that. And I also did my self-love act. Actually, I'll share with you guys. I put it on my page today, but see that over there? Oh, it's all backwards on Facebook Live. I did a little artistic project for myself. Instead of meditating, I was speaking with a friend, which is a really great way of loving yourself, to reach out to a friend who can take care of you. And we were talking about my meditation practice and how I was feeling blocked up. And she said, well, you sound creatively constipated. She made that expression up today. And she said, it sounds like you just need to get some creative juices out. And I was like, okay. So I just got the whiteboard and a bunch of pens and I drew this, I am, and just a bunch of affirmations that I believe to reconnect myself with who I think that I am. So that's not even today's self-love tip, but that's a really great self-love tip if you want one. So let me get into spiritual practice and self-love. Okay. So that feeling when you're feeling really, really lonely, I'm going to call it disconnected, where you feel like, well, nobody really gets me, nobody really loves me, nobody understands my journey. So what I want to tell you right now is that's a lie. It's a lie when you are not connected to your own divinity, when you aren't connected to your own creator or God. So, I understand, me personally, I understand that you may have a religious belief that's separate from mine, so this can be a challenging topic. So I'm going to speak from my own personal experience, and I'm not trying to convert you in any way, shape, or form. It's just my knowledge, my understanding, and my belief. And I think that what I'm going to teach today applies across all religions. Because truly, this is what I believe. We all are born out of the void, out of nothing. If you think about it, it's really dark in the womb. And if you think about the whole entire universe with all the stars and planets and everything, it's dark like the womb. And the mother is the creator of the baby, but like God or universe or source or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to call it God for this conversation, creates the baby, us, right, inside of the womb, which is the void of nothingness. And my belief is the creator creates a piece of itself to experience this life, and that's you, and that's me. And so in the Bible, it talks about how God creates us in his image. If that's true, if God created us in his image, then that means I am part of God. I am. And even in the Bible, when I think it's Moses finds the burning bush, God introduces himself as I am, the great I am. Why does he say that? Well, because I am the great I am. I am whatever. You can create whatever you want from I am. And this is actually getting into affirmations, which is part of my coaching program. I have a 12-week coaching program for individuals, and I'm actually going to be opening up a group pretty soon here for a few people to all work together to do my coaching program in a group. And part of my program is I am affirmations. A lot of times I am affirmations don't work. You know what? I'm going to get into this on a different day. But the point is, I am is what God says when he shows up to Moses in the Bible. So I am, you can create anything, everything out of I am. And because you are connected to divinity. You are connected to the source. I am not staying on my notes at all for this. It's just coming through. So if you are part of God, then how on earth could you ever be alone? So what happens is we come here as babies and we're born and we're completely helpless. Everybody knows this part. We all came here like this, completely helpless. We can't speak the language. Hopefully we recognize our mother's voice, and we don't have any way of communicating for like the first, 10 months to 2 or 3 years, depending on how long it took you to learn how to talk. So you're being influenced by all of these other people telling you who you are and what to believe. And so this belief that we're separate from where we came from begins because we're just simply helpless and we don't have a way of communicating with our creator anymore, God. The only creator we know now is mommy. And so we forget that we're connected all the time to our source. And if you ask little kids about God, like they know. Ask little kids about God. It's fascinating. I have 2 little kids, so I spent a lot of time asking them about God when they were little. And their belief and their faith is so strong. They know they came from somewhere where they were connected. And as we get older and older, we forget this connection. We forget that we're connected to our source, our God, our creator, whoever that is for you. And, God and the creator is a source of love. We are created out of this source of love. So if at any time you're not feeling lovable, imagine yourself from your creator's perspective. Imagine yourself creating something. Okay, you're a human, so you're going to judge, which we talked about yesterday, right? But if you release the judgment and you just allow yourself to see things from a place of non-judgment, let's say you created something like I created my little art this morning, right? If I look at that from a place of non-judgment, it's perfect. It's beautiful and I love it. It's a part of me. It's a creation of me. And that's how God feels about us. He created us. We're perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with us. And actually, if there is something wrong with us, God, the creator, is so amazing. They'll create another thing to make it all perfect anyway. So you don't have to worry about any of that. So as you allow yourself to become more connected to your creator, you'll feel a bigger sense of love inside of you. And when we feel connection, we feel love. And it literally can be instantaneous. So I don't know if I followed any of my notes here. I was just totally going off what's in my heart. But I do have some tips. So like from yesterday, here are some tips for loving yourself in your spiritual practice. 1, from yesterday, don't judge. As I was just saying, if you judge yourself, whatever you make is not going to be perfect, and you're going to think that your creator is judging you, but that's not how it works. The creator is not a him or a person. It's this amazing thing. Thank you for the heart. It's this amazing thing that has created everything, and everything's perfect all of the time. Okay, second tip, be quiet and listen. We don't take time to be quiet. We're like, blah, 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 blah. I know in my head it's like blah, 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 all the time. I have to literally sit myself down and be like, okay, it's time for listening. I even wrote on my, I can't see that far away. I even wrote on my thing this morning, really big, listening. You can't hear the harmonies if you aren't listening for them, right? So you can't, if you hear a piece of music and you hear the melody, if you're not paying attention to it, you're not going to be able to hear the harmonies. But if you're staying present to the melody, you'll also hear all of the other possibilities, all of the other harmonies. Like yesterday, I said, when you judge, you close off your connection to the divine. When you're non-judgmental, you open your connection to the divine. Same here, right? If you're listening, if you take time to quiet your mind enough and open it up to listen, you're going to hear all the possibilities. And there's so many. There's not just 1 or 2. One of my favorite things to do with my kids is when they come home from school and they're like, oh, this or that happened today and it was bad, or some kid was getting bullied, or I didn't like what my teacher did. I always say to them, what else is possible? And they go, well, I could have asked the teacher da-da-da. And then I say, well, what else is possible? And then they say, well, I could have da-da-da-da-da-da, this or that. And then I say, well, what else is possible? Do you know, for me, if you ask me what else is possible, like around the second or third thing that I answer, I'm like, that's all that's possible. If you ask a child what's possible, it's amazing. They'll come up with like 15 different answers that I never even thought of. And of course, because I'm the adult, I have like the right answer in my head, as if I have the right answer. And so I'm waiting for them to tell me the right answer. And meanwhile, they're giving me 50 other answers that are all perfect. The point of this is when we get quiet enough, we can hear all of those other answers. And that's why your spiritual practice can bring you self-love. Because as you're hearing what's right for you, perfect for you, in this perfect present moment, you can take action on that and it actually feels really good and you feel like you're taking care of yourself. Okay, next tip. Be open to the magic of the spirit world. Okay, now I'm talking directly to your inner child because your adult self right now is going, magic is bad. What are you talking about? I can't believe in things that aren't real. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of little thumbs up on this one, right? So your little child inside knows what I'm saying. Be open to the magic in the world. Okay? And as you're open to the magic around you, and it's there all of the time, like magic wands and little potions and things, unicorns and dragons, all of that, be open to all of that. And then it can show up. Abraham Hicks actually was watching one of their interviews recently and somebody said, "Are unicorns real?" And she said, something along the lines of what you focus on expands. And I'm not going to tell you unicorns aren't real because it's very possible that if you stay focused on unicorns long enough, that one day a unicorn may go walking down the street that only you see and no one else sees. And I love that because if you're open to the magic and other people aren't open to the magic, hey, you might see a unicorn. I have no idea. Okay, what are we on? 1, 2, 3. I should have numbered these. Number 4, practice forgiveness. This is a spiritual practice. Forgiveness is a spiritual practice. And you know what? I'll do another day on forgiveness because it's too much to get into now. Okay, pray. Okay, I remember learning a very simple prayer when I was a child. It goes like this. Number 1, say thank you for everything. God, universe, creator, whatever you want to call it. Thank you for this and thank you for that. Thank you for my glasses so I can see. Thank you for my computer so I can be talking to all these people. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my clothes that keep me warm. Thank you for deodorant so I don't smell funny. And just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then forgiveness. So God, forgive me for the things that I've done wrong and help me forgive others for whatever they've done to come against me. And we do this with compassion. And then the third piece is ask for what you want. In the Bible, it says, ask and it shall be given. Knock on the door and it shall be answered, right? How many of us are asking for what we want? Some people think, some of us have actually been taught that it's not okay to ask for what you need. I'm pretty sure, hi Karen, I'm pretty sure that if you ask for what you need in the world, you're going to get what you need, right? So I'm sorry that somebody maybe once told you not to ask for what you need, but you can throw that belief out the window because it's an old one. And please ask for what you need, whether it's from me or your friends or your lover or God. Ask and it will be given. People actually, God and people, we think about it. If I asked you for something right now, you'd probably be, yeah, I really want to give to you. Heather, I love you. Right? When we ask for things, it gives people an opportunity to love us and we get to receive, and that's an opportunity for us to love ourselves. Okay, meditate. This is kind of the same as be quiet and listen, but meditation is like close down the mind, just no thing. We don't take a lot of time for that. This one I love. Feel connected to all that is, all that ever was, and all that ever will be. There's no time and there's no space for the creator of the universe. There's no such thing as time and space. It's another, we made up time and space. Literally, when I started this video, however many minutes ago that was, that doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. And whatever is going to happen in the future, that doesn't exist either, but it does to the universe because the universe always knows what has happened and what will happen and what is happening. So let's stay present, and something wonderful you can do is connect yourself to all that ever was and all that ever will be and all that is right now. And it's a way of getting present. It's a way of staying connected to your divinity. Another thing you can do is go inside of yourself and ask the piece of yourself that is divine to be in charge. That's, for me, that's one of my absolute most favorite ways of loving myself. Finding who I call the goddess inside and letting her be in charge, because she makes decisions moment to moment, and she's super loving and she's connected. You know, we got this little gate up here. She's connected. And so I let her be in charge. And when I do, everything works out. And the days that I don't, you know, I'm just being human. So thank you guys for joining me. If anybody is still on, it doesn't look like anybody's on right now, but if anybody's on and you want to leave in the comments what you're going to do of these tips today, I would love to know which of these has worked for you. Which one are you going to try out today? Which one sounds interesting? Are there any that you think are bogus? You know, we're co-creating all of this together, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share with you. And I hope you go and create a wonderful day of self-love and stay connected to your divinity, because when you do, you're actually going to be living in your purpose. And my personal belief is, if you're connected to your divinity, then you're connected to yourself. Then you can be connected to me, to others, and you can be living in what you were meant to be living in. You're living in your gifts. And in my opinion, when you do that, and we all do that, that's where world peace comes from, which is part of the reason that I'm doing these, because I really would love to create world peace. And so please be, share the videos. I think I'm going to actually open the group up so people can share the videos, or maybe I'm going to figure out how to get them on YouTube, something like that. But if you want, you can add people to this group. It's called Beautifully Authentic. So, you know, invite people in, say, hey, today Heather did this talk on your divinity and, you know, ways to love yourself in your spiritual practice. And I think it might be great for you. And just throw the name of the group in there and let them join. And don't forget to leave in the comments which one of the tips you're going to be using today. So thank you for letting me share with you. I'm looking forward to more of these, and I will chat with you guys tomorrow.